Breaking news in Paris right now. Details just coming in as we're going on the air. Masked gunmen storming a satirical magazine there.
11 people killed so far. Gunmen still on the loose, putting Paris on the highest state of alert right now. And the French president has rushed to the scene of what he's calling an exceptional act of barbarism against journalists. ABC's Pierre Thomas tracking all the latest. Good morning, Pierre.
Good morning, George. We're getting word of that dangerous situation in Paris. Gunmen wearing masks have targeted a French newspaper. We've just learned 11 people have been killed and 4 critically injured. It's a very fluid situation. The shooting happened outside of the newspaper Charlie Hebdo, which has come into focus before for lampooning the Prophet Muhammad. In fact, in 2011, an outlet of Charlie Hebdo was firebombed after publishing cartoons of Muhammad. The gunman may have escaped the scene. The situation is unfolding and it's clearly extremely dangerous. It's so intense, as you said, that the president of France has just arrived at the scene. This appears to be a brazen act of terrorism, so you can be guaranteed that U.S. intelligence officials will be monitoring the situation extremely closely.
And they are heightening security around all major Paris institutions right now. Pierre, thanks very much. I want to bring in Richard Clark, our ABC News contributor, former counterterrorism consultant for many presidents. And Dick, as Pierre said, this magazine, Charlie Hebdo, has had a history of taking on Islam in cartoons. Its final tweet before this attack actually was a cartoon of the ISIS leader al-Baghdadi, and it had been under higher security.
It's been a target of threats by Islamic groups for probably at least the last 5 years. It's a version, if you will, to try to think of what is this magazine. Think of the American satirical newspaper, The Onion. But it's different in that it has been consistently going after ISIS and al-Qaeda, and in doing so, several years ago, had cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad, which triggered a massive response earlier when the Danish newspaper did the same thing.
Reports are that the gunmen were masked, that they had Kalashnikov rifles storming in the offices. Of course, this is the kind of attack that so many have been concerned about across Western capitals, and now Paris, in the entire city, under the highest possible state of alert.
Well, we had been worrying about the so-called lone wolf, the individual, self-activated. This sounds like an organized group that had access to automatic weapons and planned out an attack. So this is a terrorist cell of at least 2 people. We don't know how many yet.
And Pierre Thomas, I want to bring you back in because we have known about possible ISIS threats against American media as well.
Yeah, late last fall, the FBI and Homeland Security put out a notice to media warning that ISIS radicals might target the media. It's something that has been of great concern to U.S. officials here, and I can tell you, based on what happened in France, law enforcement officials and intelligence officials around the U.S. government will be deeply focused on this, and they will probably put out a notice to law enforcement officials saying be vigilant.
And we will continue to track this developing story. Pierre, Richard, thanks very much.